In terms of the rehydration clause, do you think that affects the ability for Ryan in this fight, and do you think that hampers him in any way?
I think it fits for Ryan. Why? Because I think that when you put stipulation on a fighter, it shows the fighter that you put that stipulation on, that you're looking for advantages to be an advantage. That tells everybody that understands when a person says we're in the same weight class, but I'm going to tell you what you can drink, not drink, when to eat, when not to eat. And even if you, get bigger within 24 hours, is that basically false weight, false strength? You cannot get strong in 24 hours. So, to me, it's nervousness. It's trying to get all the advantages. Why do you need advantages and you're undefeated? We got an amateur history. Is somebody worried on Tank's end? Oscar said it best at the press conference. You heard it. Do they really believe in you, Tank? Do they really believe in you, Tank? With all these stipulations that would have jeopardized us being here, talking about it. Ryan said yes to everything. I wouldn't have done that. I'm being honest with you. I think I got credibility, 30 years in the game, undisputed, the oldest champion in boxing to the day. I think I got a little weight. That shows you the balls, the moxie that Ryan Garcia has.
And those are the words of Bernard, the executioner, the alien Hopkins, as he asked a very good question to Team Tank. And I think that's the reason why they won the press conference over War of Words, was because of the stipulations. You got Tank, the biggest star in boxing, the most talented, the best fighter in that weight class or around those weight classes. And yet, all this undefeated superstar fighting a guy that only has a left hook, glass chin, and a lot of other flaws, not even a championship worthiness of even being a champion, but yet you have all these stipulations. Now, that speaks for itself. Now, Bernard Hopkins mentioned nervousness. It could be nervousness. But I think the better question would be, what do you think about Ryan for accepting all of that? And I have to agree with Bernard Hopkins. Balls. And I have to also agree with the stipulations that they have against Ryan. Why have all those? But then what does it do for Ryan? That should just motivate him more, and he should have, if he didn't, stick to a strict diet, because he's going to need all the energy he's going to need at that particular weight. Because again, it's a rehydration clause. So even if he did gain the weight, like Bernard explained, it doesn't really matter, because you're not going to get strong or get that strength back in 24 hours. It's just not going to happen. And they did that for a reason, which I don't agree with. You guys know I don't agree with ever draining a fighter just to have an advantage because of what position you're in. That's just stupid. I am who I am, therefore you have to fight less or not as good because I'm doing things to make you fight not as good. So what the hell is the point? The point is, I'm the A side, I make the money, I call the shots, and I say I'm going to do this to you. Why? Because I don't want you to be your best. That is the lamest shit I ever heard. However, understand this with the A side and the politics of boxing. Gervonta Tank Davis is not the only person that did that. Floyd did it to Canelo. De La Hoya did it to Floyd. Pacquiao did it to Oscar De La Hoya. So yes, this has happened before. Canelo had a whole career of doing that shit at 155 at a catch weight. You know what I mean? He wanted to bring Golovkin down to that weight. And then that was the whole argument in 2016. Will Golovkin come to 157, 158? And he's like, well, what the hell? I'm the champion. So why would I come down there for you? You know what I mean? So it was finally settled and sorted out. However, it was a year later before those guys fought. And that, I believe, took everything at a distance to the advantage for Canelo. Well, the same is going for Tank Davis. Now, again, it doesn't make it right, but it's typical. Okay? But great question, great point made by Team Ryan. If Tank's that good, Tank's a 140-pound WBA champion, regular, or yet he was, or used to be, or whatever, if he's not anymore. Why do you need to fight at 136? We know Ryan Garcia fights better at 140. We know Tank Davis is or was a WBA champion at 140. So why is this shit coming in at 136? It shows nervousness. It shows that Tank needs everything that he can get, but then don't need it all. If you don't need it all, have some balls. Better yet, have some integrity and do the shit right. You know what I mean? Do it right, because you're going to get this. And I mean, people are not really going to pay attention to the stipulations, the strict concessions. But then again, they should, because boxing is a very crooked sport. And you have things like this. And the only reason this fight's happening is because Ryan agreed to it. But what Ryan has to do is fight an uphill battle now, because he won't have the advantage of properly having the energy, the strength, the speed like he normally would, like we're accustomed to him seeing. Not saying he won't be fast, not saying he won't be powerful at all. What I'm saying, just the idea of someone making you come in at a catch weight, make you stick and monitor what you eat, says a lot about the other team and their worriness of the other fighter. So if anything, the irony and the silver lining behind this all, that Ryan Garcia should have enough confidence knowing that they needed all that just for little old tall, skinny him. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Bernard Hopkins and this Counterpunch. Of course, please subscribe. Stay tuned tonight. Be ready, 7:15 p.m. And all you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!